I'm chairing the meeting tonight for the Springfield Historic Commission, Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. I'd like to welcome you all, and we'll have a few things up front before we get to any hearing information. First of all, our roll call, let me see who's here. Kevin Coffey, present. Brandon Nespor. Vincent Walsh.
Yes, sir.
Marissa Zorzi. Judith Kroll.
Yes, I am here.
Walter Kroll. Here. So commissioners, have you had an opportunity to look at the minutes from March 5th? So we can vote to accept them. And I'll take in the motion to do so.
Need a motion to accept the minutes for March 5th. Second.
Thank you, Judith. Any discussion? We'll start with Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Al Nerdy, yes. Walter Kroll.
Yes.
Judy Kroll.
Yes.
And Marissa Zorzi.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Again, how about
And
the minutes?
Kevin Call.
Yes. Oh.
Kevin Walsh.
Kevin Walsh. Kevin Coffey. Yes. Kevin. This one, so. We had an opportunity to look at the minutes for the 19th of March.
In the motion, we accept the minutes for the 19th of March. Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Vincent, any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll take a vote. Walter Kroll.
Yes.
Judy Kroll.
Yes.
Marissa Zorzi.
Yes.
Kevin Coffey.
Yes.
Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
And Al Nerdy. They are all accepted. So on our agenda tonight, we have one continued public hearing. There's someone here regarding the Pine Steel project, the duplex, please come on down. And if you'd be kind enough for the record to state your residence, your name and residence address.
My name is Jim Morrissey. This is my wife, Lynn Morrissey. She took my chair.
So, before I turn the chair to you, I'd just like to read our information as part of the overview for the staff. Petitioner has submitted an application for a certificate of appropriateness and hardship for the purpose of constructing a two-family dwelling. Petitioner is specifically proposing the following: Lansing Building Products classic double door, double pane, 1/1 black vinyl windows, 4-panel, 5-light external grids, frame chamber masonite fiberglass doors, cedar knolls D4 clapboard, vinyl siding with 3-inch window and door casings and 5.5-inch corner board. Petitioner proposed vinyl shakes at the front facing eave towards Pine Street. GAF Timberline, HDZ architectural asphalt shingles, charcoal and color. While the front porch does not span the width of the building, it appears to be wider than the other standard entrances and contains railings that do not exceed the bottom of the adjacent stove. Heat pumps are being installed on the south side of the building with the compressor units will be affixed to the wall. The compressor units will be shielded by a fence at the front of the building. So I'm going to give the chair to you for a couple of minutes and give us your reason and thoughts.
Okay, my name is Jim Morrissey. This is my wife, Lynn. We live at 338 Maple Street in Bellingham, Mass. We have been designated by the City of Springfield Office of Housing, the preferred developer for the lot formerly known as 227 Pine Street, and referenced in the application by its parcel ID number. This is a lot that has been owned by the city since the early 2000s. There was a building that was demolished in the early 1990s. And the only reason that my wife and I have an interest in a lot is that we own property on the street that this lot, creates a corner, the corner of Pine Street and Pine Street Court. Last year, from the summer to the mid-fall, we actually developed a duplex that could actually be seen if we were looking at the lot. Oh, there it is, right there. There's the duplex that we built in its early
It is
stages.
finished.
Yeah, so that's early, but in the course of developing that property, knowing that we were going to ultimately sell it, that was land that we owned. Where once upon a time, there were houses that were demolished by the tornado of 2011. We just held on to the land looking for time and opportunity to be able to do something with it, and we did that last year. The lot up in the corner, last summer, we maintained it, and in maintaining it, I made some observations that it was kind of a hangout, an area where there was a lot of cars and people in congregation, but more importantly, it was a lot that was kind of critical. Actually, there's a more updated picture. That's our little site sign on the lot right there that was promoting the sale of the duplex that you can see just off in the distance. Where'd it go?
It's
There it is. So, and we maintained the lot not because we were good citizens, but because we thought it was crucial for people, you know, having a positive idea of Pine Street Court and the houses down there. And we had several houses on the street, so that was our interest at the time. The more we studied the lot, the more we thought that it would be a good opportunity, that if the city put it out for an RFP, it'd be something that we would propose. So as I said, we are designated the preferred developer. We do not own the lot at present. We have one condition that remains, and that's seek and hopefully attain historic commission approval. And with that approval, we're scheduled to close on the property if we get it by the end of the month. The crucial thing with this project is that we have a collision of two things that occur in new construction. In January of 2025, two changes in the for new construction occurred. The building code became a little more stringent, and the energy code became extremely more stringent. As you probably are aware, Massachusetts is really trying to guide new development to be all electric. I'm not going to say I live in a house myself personally, all electric, but it's the path of least resistance to do what the state's trying to do. So we have a combination of things in trying to combine energy efficiency. For example, with the windows, we have to satisfy a low U value, a high solar heat gain coefficient, and then combine that with doing a black window. So it ends up being almost double the price just on windows, but it is what it is. We've got electric heat pumps. We purposely have mounted them on the side of the property, but we've shown a fence that would act as a screen from them being seen or visible from the street. And again, that's part of the all electric equation. We proposed initially, I'll call it a half porch. And the reason we selected that was twofold. Number one, the property directly across the street has a similar, half porch. It's not a full-length front porch. We are prepared and would be willing to do a full-length front porch. And ironically, this was something that had come up in the numerous conversations I had, and a lot of the great insight in conversation with Andrew, a front porch. The last time we were here, it seemed that wasn't a real major issue, but it's something that we're willing to be flexible about. In an email received from Andrew prior to coming here, he asked me to put together some information about what for us becomes the crucial sticking point about making this a feasible project. The last meeting, when our interest we have to do one of two things in building and developing this property. We either have to occupy it as our primary residence for 3 years, or we have to convey our interest to somebody who will fulfill the city's owner occupancy criteria. I've represented, we have no intention of living there, not because anything hung up about living there, but we already have 2 houses and I don't need a 3rd house. I've got plenty of houses in the area. So that's what we have to do to fulfill it. And it doesn't make sense to own it and hold it and keep it vacant after it's completed. So for us to kind of keep it financially viable, we have to find areas in which we can come up with accommodation. We understand about the windows. We were provided guidance to try to give a 2-tone effect in the front, using the different siding in the 2 gables in the front, adding some accents. I happen to be a big shutter guy. I happen to think they create a plus, and we've chosen to put shutters on 3 sides of the property, the front and the 2 sides. We had an option of orienting the house with the doors that would either be on the right, I think Andrew called it the south side of the property, which we've chosen to do, as opposed to the Pine Street Court. All of our parking's in the rear. It's the same area where parking was for the property that used to be there, 40 years ago. I do have some information that I can share. Andrew had said that, not said, but he had suggested that I put together something that shows a comparison of different siding. Attached are estimates. One would be, comes from the framer who would be framing the house were we to build it. And I asked it to provide me a quote to sidewall the property in either hardy or clapboard. He gave me his cost. I then had Koopman Lumber, who furnishes our materials for construction. I asked them to give me a material cost on hardy and clapboard. They did. And thirdly, I attached what is the type of siding that we have proposed. And ironically, it's the type of siding that was approved on 3 different houses, 207, 213, 217 Pine Street, just 2, 3, and 4 houses removed from the subject property. Norandic siding, it's a double 4 siding. It has a wood grain surface. It's a nice gauge, 0.44 gauge siding, which is very important with siding. It's not thin or flimsy. The only difference in siding is the 2 peaks or something called cedar impressions. That's a little more expensive on a per square basis. So I included cost of material for each type of product, and the one area that we can achieve relief, and it doesn't necessarily enhance our profitability, but what it does is allow us to try to contain the cost to construct this home. The 2 homes on Pine Street that were approved both by hardship, 213 and 217 Pine Street, they were both allowed vinyl siding. You can see that it had probably a dozen of stipulations. A couple of them I highlighted because if we were to come to an agreement with the Historic Commission, every word, every detail in black and white, we would adhere to it 100%. There would be no misinterpretation once we put it in the ground and got going with the property. We would agree on color. We're looking to just try to keep things all the same. But back to my point, those properties are interesting because I use them not so much as a model, because I think we put a little more effort into our homes and we build a better home. And the proof is in the pudding. But all of that aside, those homes were permitted 6 months before we built the duplex on Pine Street Court. And it's very critical. I could have done it earlier. I didn't, and I suffered the consequence because my permit came after January. it meant that I came under that new building and energy code, which were quite more stringent. It was a good learning experience, enough of an experience that were we to proceed with this, we're confident that we can make this occur and probably from start to finish be done in 6 months. Some projects take forever. There's a property at 207 Pine Street, for example, that was approved by this commission, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2022, and that's still kind of muddling around in the development stage. So what is the big difference in terms of siding? It's not quality. What siding allows us to do, it's something long-term, because whether you use clapboard siding, hardy board, you still have to paint it. It has the paint aspect to it. Okay. I'm not saying that siding is color fast, but it's a fully extruded product, so that should stand up the test of time. And that house, we hope, would be around a lot longer after we are there. So I provided the cost at the suggestion that Andrew had. We're hoping that we can keep a budget in and around the 450 to 460 range. Those 2 Pine Street properties sold within the past calendar year, each for about $495,000. That would project at just slightly under a 10% return on investment, which is not a good return, but it's enough of a return because we're doing this as much to add to the neighborhood, add to the community. It's not something that's going to have our name or a plaque on it. We're not looking to win any reward, but it's something that we want to be proud of because we want the neighborhood to be enhanced, and as a result, whomever our successor in interest benefits from a pretty good home.
So, we interrupt, please.
Please.
And get something clarified. I understand, Andrew, this request for appropriateness and hardship.
Yeah, and I think the 213 to 219 properties he referenced, that's it's a little bit of a misnomer because when I went back and watched, the original application was denied because of its siding, and then they came back and the commission approved the siding, and then brought everything else in. So what probably should have happened is that
2 certificates.
the 2 certificates, one
Which
for
is-
the hardship for the vinyl siding, and then everything else in the. I don't know if I got off track.
Right, so we could separate it if we had some.
Yes, and I think that would be the best way to approach this if you decide to approve a hardship.
May I make just one comment?
Of course.
And it's interesting. I had many conversations. This young man does a good job. His tour of duty started in November of 2024. So everything I'm talking about that was approved preceded it. And I think he said that to me 4,000 times. Because I can't ask him what happened then, he wasn't there. It is interesting, 2 houses, one on Pine Street, 271 Pine Street, and one right around the corner on Central Street. They were both approved with certificates of appropriateness. Now, what's not mentioned on here is the word or the kind of siding, which is 100% vinyl siding. What is mentioned here are the things that constituted that. That's with the issuance of an appropriateness. So was relief granted? Were there 2 certificates? The only one certificate was for appropriateness, but it didn't mention siding. 207 Pine Street ironically has 2. It has one for appropriateness and one for the hardship. The hardship is the siding. So I would agree with the splitting thing. He went on vacation, and any questions I had before our last meeting on the 19th, my mentor wasn't around to run it by. So when I submitted the application, I said, I'm going to hedge my bet because I think it falls into both categories based on neighborhood approvals. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I'll just make a comment because you keep referring to these other properties. And as the commission knows, you don't look at other properties as a precedent for everything that we look at.
You've made that clear.
Yeah, each property looked at individually. So commissioners, questions?
May I speak, Mr. Chair? I'm going to just reference hardship. I don't think we've ever found a hardship in an investment property. The hardship, when a hardship is granted after, it's usually when they've done something that they knew they weren't supposed to do, and then it was done, and the cost to reverse it is, and while we hate it, we can't, the cost of reversing it becomes a hardship. But you haven't built the house yet, so I don't think I could ever do it under hardship. So I'd just like to hear about the best siding you can put on it and why.
Okay, and I think we did hear a lot of that, but I think your point is well taken. Commissioners, other questions?
And so the commission, I sent this out, I'm sure you've seen it, but I did go back and have an opportunity to review all of the hearings and regarding the properties mentioned, so I would probably distinguish with 207 Pine Street as being different in the sense that the exterior walls had to be rebuilt, which is why the commission granted the hardship.
They were bent in the whole.
Yeah, and then the one on Central Street and 271 Pine Street, it was during COVID, so I think COVID protocol might have, just gotten in the way.
They did a very good job in surmising this and summarizing it, so for those people that weren't around then, I'm excited, sure.
So,
Okay, so I have just a couple, as you've shown us, I'm not sure if the audience or even Commissioner Walsh have seen your rendering with the full porch versus the after. Have you seen that at all, Commissioner?
Yeah, yes, I have. I like I said at the last meeting, I like the design. We don't usually get a rendering this good, this well done, even though some of the some of the spacings are off with the partial porch. I don't mind it at all. There are many historic houses that have that, although many also have a full. The gables, the corner boards, this is a pretty good design from what some of the ones that we have seen in the past. So in general, I like what I'm looking at with this partial porch.
Okay, thank you. Other commissioners? So I'm assume we bring this back to the public for any commentary.
yeah,
Since we can continue.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just take a minute and bring it to the public. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak to their for or not for this proposal as you've been listening? Okay. None? So I'll come back to the commission. So commissioners, I'm open to your thoughts, comments, or even you need an emotion.
Can I get a sample of the siding? I wasn't present at the last meeting. Sure.
So, I don't have a physical sample.
Okay.
I actually furnished the entire brochure that accompanied another property, but we don't speak about other properties, but another property on Pine Street that was approved for the same siding. The chairman actually pulled up a nice photo at the last meeting, so he found it specifically in its grain. So it's a good siding. For me, for us, siding is about its gauge, its thickness, okay? All building materials expand, contract, shrink, they endure the weather. The better the gauge on siding, the less detrimental performance that you have over time. One last point, we put, and I made a point of driving by the Pine Street area. We've proposed really nice distinctive corners, and I'm leaning to the one that's not the fluted corner. That was one thing that you said that we would need to pin down, that if I said 5.5, they're 5.5. I'm inclined, if we were to go forward, to go with the other ones. And the reason I would go with them is they're perfect for allowing you to take a downspout, a white downspout, and run it right down in that channel, nice and perfect and concealed. And your eye and your sight just it's not something that's attached. And Andrew brought up something nice, important to me. He had mentioned a reluctance when heat pumps are there. I don't have a choice in new construction. I either go all electric or I pay the price of trying to get the thing to pass and get a CO. But with new construction, all of your ducting is interior. You have none of that octopus effect on the side of a property. And to get above the snowfall, but still be below a 6-foot privacy fence, you don't see them from the street. So that's an important thing. Do I believe they work? I wouldn't put them in my own house, but I have to do it when I'm building new. Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? Commissioner Walsh?
Yeah, yes, I'd just like to address this again, because the petitioner has one point that I hadn't really considered initially. And that is the rising cost of just to put this house together in the first place, in the codes that builders everywhere are facing now are adding a substantial amount of money to it. Now, that what you might be able to call that your hardship, although under our guidelines, if you're building a house for profit, then there's not a hardship. But I will acknowledge that, and I might be thinking the wrong line, so one of you commissioners can fix me on this. But it may be to where the cost of construction is sufficiently high enough that we have to consider an appropriateness for something other than like clapboard or hardy board. Just a thought.
Thank you. So, I for one would have to agree with Vincent that the application and the information and the presentation is much better than we've seen before in the past. I think there's enough sensitivity exterior wise and detail wise to fit into the historic landscape that we hope to maintain. At first, I thought the full porch might be more appropriate. However, for the size of the face of this elevation, I think I'm okay with this.
That's 25 feet.
Yeah,
That's almost 25 feet.
it's a very small elevation. And as far as how it sits on the property, I'm very okay with it that you're back off of the sidewalks enough so that you're not impeding on the visual streetscape as you're walking down Pine. So I, for one, I find appropriateness, reasonable motion, even with the siding, because as we saw during the last meeting, it is a deep wood grain in this particular siding, so it'll be noticed.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just like to speak philosophically on this. As a developer, you've done a tremendous job with this.
Thank you.
There's no
I haven't done
doubt,
it yet, sir, though.
sir,
I haven't done this one yet.
well,
But
if
if
the
I'm allowed to
preparation
do
is
it,
there. I
yeah.
applaud you buying something from the city, I applaud you investing stuff here. Just as a precautionary thing to the commission. This potentially takes away what your decision-making powers are, because if you keep saying final siding is approved, then we don't need to be here. Andrew can just run stuff out of the office and people check a box, there's no sense in having a meeting, there's no sense in talking about it. There's no sense in evaluating it. I also think there's a big distinction between a single family house and a 2-family house. And you're a businessman, you know what you're doing, you're pretty smart, you know what your margins are, you know what the development is, and you like a good product. But you don't have to build it on Pine Street in a historic district.
No, and I probably wouldn't come back. This was the roll of the dice on this
Right.
plot.
So I'm just saying that, and that's why the hardship usually doesn't fall in the development piece. The hardship is for you on the ROI is how do I do this project with building code, what the city wants, what the historic commission wants, what the state requires, and what the CO is gonna be. I'm in that world, I get it. But if the goal of the commission is to try and preserve historic features and the way things look, as you're starting to see new housing guidelines, you're starting to have a trend. This happens to be all on the same street for different reasons. I'm just cautioning you that if this is another multifamily that we approve, how are you gonna say no to somebody now?
So.
So it needs to be able to stand on its own. That's what I'm saying, is it needs to be able to stand on its own. Okay, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, I concur, with the commissioner. I think that, I mean, the house is being proposed as a speculative venture. It's not already occupied, and, you know, the applicant is not under duress to build this house. There's no pressure, in that sense. Moreover, the historic district, you know, the guidelines for the historic district are published in public information. So anyone proposing to build in the historic district should know, as part of their due diligence, what the requirements are going to be. And so, you know, I think that the question of appropriateness really needs to adhere to the guidelines for historic preservation in this area. Okay, so with that said, I would think that maybe it would be appropriate to split this into the two pieces that we spoke about. With the siding being the hardship, and the balance of the project being appropriateness.
Yeah, and on the hardship, I would recommend articulating precisely what the hardship is.
May I insert one last thing? To avoid confusion that may have occurred with other projects, as long as Andrew was okay with it. When I spoke with him, I said, who actually does a final inspection for the historic? And he answered kind of sort of that no one really does. It depends on if somebody picks up something on a pass by. I'd be willing, if Andrew would be my liaison, to seek a final approval for him to show that any detail that we agree to is abided by 100%. And I think that's appropriate because, as he and I both agree, it's not a building inspector's job to see, you know, that I put black windows in. All they look for is, do I have a HER certificate? Did I pass an insulation inspection? Is my frame framed correctly? So if he's okay with that, unless there's some other designee. Thank you.
Great point, and it's actually some of the things that we have as proposed changes in our own process.
But I don't want to add to his job burden.
Well, it wouldn't be him, it would be one of us along with building.
That would be great.
When they come in for a rough, if they come finish.
Yeah, I think it's important.
It is a manual process now, where we just happen to see it, we're all in the neighborhood, I drive by that street probably 10 times a day,
I am now aware,
so.
I'm gonna have my traffic.
You know,
Walter, let me ask you a question. Did you go down Pine Street Court?
No, I go right up and down the street, I have no reason to go with Pine Street.
Well, if you have a chance to go down Pine Street Court, look at that building that we just finished last year, 1923.
19, okay.
It was showstopper.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's not like the other ones. I'm not trying to be mean, but the ones that they
I-
built
listen,
on
I have no,
on Pine Street.
don't misunderstand anything I've said, I have no
No, we know.
doubt whatsoever with your work. Or your
No,
plan.
I know that. I'm just saying,
So,
if they're supposed to be similar because it's, you know, that the street you're trying to keep historical and everything the same, I wouldn't want to build one like those others that are built there. There's nothing to them there. It's sad looking, to be honest with you. And if that were my building, if it was his, I would not be proud of those buildings. I would not. They're very plain and I don't know, I was kind of bothered with it, gotta be honest.
We understand. Right, so commissioners, I think what I'd like to do is, if you have a motion regarding the appropriateness other than the hardship, open to hear any motion.
Could I just jump in before we get to motions, please?
Please.
Because the petitioner at the beginning, when he began, he talked about the difference in the siding and the cost, but never said what the numbers were.
Well, you didn't see the sheet. We have those ones.
I gave a handout, Commissioner Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Camera,
If I knew you.
No, that's okay.
Do you?
do you want me to speak to the camera like they did last week?
No, that's quite all right. I just didn't, usually, sometimes Andrew can pull things up on the screen, so he obviously didn't have it on his computer.
I didn't give it to him ahead of the meeting. That's my.
Is it just the stars?
Yes.
No, you don't have to.
The
put it
other
up there.
one's written,
So last time we were here, Commissioner Walsh, you had asked me and I gave you a percentage. You said, what is the difference between what I proposed and Hardy? And ironically, Hardy is the middle of three costs. Clapboard is by far the most expensive on a per square basis, labor and material. So I told you that it was approximately 2.5 times.
Yes,
And if I do the math, it worked out not conveniently. These are numbers based on quotes I got after the meeting on the 19th. It turned out that Hardy is $768 per square, 10 by 10, and siding is $189 per square. And the only reason that the siding labor at $150 a square is cheap, and I must make this note, we build a house and we choose for our sidewall sheathing and our roof sheathing to use a more expensive product called zip sheathing. It makes for a tighter and righter house. It's more expensive, but it also skips what happens with siding. I'm not a big fan of using Tyvek or house wrap. I'd rather pay more money, get a better product with the zip sheathing on my sidewall and my roof. It makes for a better construction and does not necessitate house wrap or felt paper on your roof. Thank you.
thank you.
So hopefully you've received that from Commissioner.
Yeah, I have it. I'm reading it now.
Thank you very much.
My wife put this together today. She did a pretty damn good job.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll bring back to my thought, if someone has a motion regarding this project, would be more than happy to put it to vote.
Okay, so for the first application, we're doing this one too, right?
Yes,
So for East South Pine Street. I make a motion, we approve the Lansing Building products double class. Classics double hung, double pane, 1/1 black vinyl. Windows, the 4-panel 5-lead external grids, masonite fiberglass door. Vinyl shakes at the front facing eave that face toward Pine Street, the GIF Timberline HDZ architectural asphalt signals, charcoal and color. The design is proposed with the smaller porch, standard porch. And with the heat pumps to be installed on the south side of the building with the compressor units to be affixed to the wall. Compressor units will be shielded by a fence. At the front of the plane of the building.
Second,
okay. And you're keeping the siding not in this particular.
It's the second, yeah, right, it's the second application.
All right, do I have a second for this one?
second,
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Georgie.
You know, we're walking down the porch, gentlemen.
That's,
I'm gonna go with that
That's the-
porch as proposed. Thank you.
All right, any discussion? Well, that motion includes vinyl on it, basically. It does not include vinyl in this motion.
vinyl shakes. Unless you'd like me to remove the vinyl shakes and put the vinyl shakes with the vinyl siding on the second application.
Okay,
So I rescind the vinyl shakes and we'll put that on the second application.
so are we okay on the second one? Okay. All right, if there's no other discussion regarding that, I'll take a vote. Kevin Coffey? Yes. Vincent Walsh?
yes,
Alan Hardy's yes, Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Judy Crowe,
Yes.
and Marissa Zorza.
Yes.
Okay. So the appropriateness portion passes. And now your second motion. Regarding the exterior side.
I see that one. I made a motion that we accept the ground siding for the, on the construction of East South Pine Street with the Cedar Knolls vinyl siding as put forth in the application along with the vinyl shapes front facing toward Pine Street. Is there a proposed color?
Yes, that's, it should be written in the application. I think it's called brick red.
Brick red, that's right, right on.
The exact one you see up there.
Okay, brick red, thank you, Aaron.
Any discussion?
I would recommend using this time to articulate the hardship.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Vincent.
Commissioner Wall?
well, I'm just, I don't know that we can put this under hardship. I mean, this is a tough one because it's clearly it will be a beautiful house when it's done. And I'm not sure what the hardship is. I still wasn't able to calculate because I don't know how many squares this house is. I wasn't able to calculate the actual difference in the price, but I made an estimate for myself. And I guess, the question is if you can do it in the, how long it goes before somebody has to paint it really isn't relative to the appropriateness, just having it vinyl last longer isn't what we're working on here. I'm just not seeing it as a hardship. That's all. Is it possible to build a house and make money with Hardy or not, I guess is what I'm wondering. But anyway, that's all I can think of. I can't straighten this one out. I'm not quite so sure about hardship. So go ahead. I'm done. I'm all set.
Right, well, I guess the reason why I'm saying that vote is separate is because the property or the being proposed had a hardship. We think that we can.
Right.
vote.
Well, and it also makes it so it's not a precedent for the next person who says, now there's 4 houses that have vinyl, so I can do it too. And hardship that's what hardship is. One of the things it does for us is to not set a precedent with the building materials. But I still stand by my thought, although it doesn't sound like I had any agreement from the commission that, at some point, we have to talk about what's acceptable and what isn't moving forward. But anyway, now I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussions regarding this motion?
Yeah, I would echo Commissioner Walsh, and actually, when it is a single family homeowner, it's always cheaper to do a vinyl window or do vinyl railings from Home Depot. It's always cheaper. It's always more expensive to have something that conforms, so. And usually the response is the hardship isn't always what you can afford, it's what is appropriate. So.
Okay, so there is a motion on the floor, it's been seconded, and I'll take a vote. Repeat the motion. Oh. Okay, would you repeat the motion?
The motion is so a yes vote would be to accept the vinyl siding and the vinyl shakes as proposed in the application. With brick red.
Sorry, just with the 3-inch casings around the windows and doors and 5.5.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, everything that's in the application, yeah.
There. All right, so I'll start, Marissa Zorzi,
Yes.
okay, Judy Crowe,
No.
was that?
No.
No. Walter Crowe?
No.
Vincent Walsh? We don't.
You're
hear-
muted, Vinny.
You're muted.
Sorry, no.
No. Kevin Coffey?
No.
Already. So we don't have enough votes for that to pass. And they think that it can be proposed otherwise. As a,
So, let's see, you have, I won't be able to get another meeting scheduled until the 7th.
the 7th of May.
In May, which is past the deadline. So I don't know. I mean, the application was a little fluid in the sense that it was presented as an appropriate and a hardship, so I don't know if that means you can go back and see if you can approve it as an appropriateness. I don't know if it would make more sense as Betty was kind of talking earlier. Otherwise, then the applicant would go back and propose a siding that's probably already board or flat board. I guess I will throw out the question.
Public hearing though.
It would be a public hearing. I'm just saying the board might be able to revisit it now as certificate of appropriateness.
Because attorney online, but
Robert, should
Phil, John, I think Phil's found it.
no, it's shoe check.
Oh, Bob Shuchet,
Yeah.
Attorney Shuchet?
Hello?
Hello, so the question is, the application was
Yep.
proposed as a hardship and appropriateness. It was a little bit fluid in the sense of what was kind of noticed as what. So the commission denied the hardship for siding,
vinyl so
vinyl siding. Would it be appropriate to have the commission vote on whether the siding can be approved as a certificate of appropriateness right now?
Yeah, I mean, it was listed as both hardship and appropriateness. If so, I think it'd be better to, if you guys all declined it for hardship, then just do it for an appropriateness vote.
So that does give the commission an option on whether you want to entertain it now as certificate of appropriateness instead of certificate of hardship. I don't know if that changes anything, it probably
Right.
doesn't.
Well,
But
that's,
it's,
I think what I'm hearing him say is that the request for appropriateness should be including the non-vinyl siding. If they so please to do so.
yeah, I think it could be
And then we
either
can
or.
revisit that vote.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could be either or. You could probably entertain it as a vinyl siding or as hardy or clapboard. I guess it would be up to the applicant.
Right, so
Mr. Chair,
please,
I would make a motion that we would accept the application for appropriateness with hardy plank or clapper siding. That's a motion. That way it will put it in his, he'll know what he can do.
so I'm looking for the response from the potential property.
No, that was a motion to accept it. So you need a second for a discussion or,
Second.
I mean, I'll very easily vote for it. That way we all vote for it. So he knows he can get it done that way.
Okay, so the motion is to accept the hardy board painted with the size of the trim similar to what was noted
It's the platform or the harmony.
Flat doors or Hardy Board, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
So my understanding that we're either gonna have to blackboard or hardy board now,
Well, we have.
that's what I thought you guys just said.
We're proposing.
Okay,
That's being proposed as,
okay.
let's see if we can accept that, and that gives you the option. Okay, all right, so any other discussion regarding this motion from Commissioner Walsh? All right, if not, then I'll take a vote. Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Coffey,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi,
Yes.
Commissioner Crowe, Walter,
Yes.
Commissioner Judy Crowe.
Yes.
Commissioner Natalie says yes. Okay, so that passes. So to answer your question. What's been approved and appropriateness is either the plywood or the hardy board painted in the trim sizes to be similar to what you've already stated.
Okay, we thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
very- Thanks for the very good discussion.
No problem.
Okay, we're gonna move along, our back agenda. To, new public hearing regarding 167 Maple Street. Someone here to that property, yes, someone join us. Have a seat, and you please give us your name and your residential addresses for the record.
It's my father.
And the people who are for the.
So it's my father, so I'm gonna translate for them, so the owner of it one, so his property address is 167 Maple Street, Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And residential address is 111 Chester Street, West Springfield, Massachusetts.
Very good, and your name and address?
Assad member. 111 Chester Street, West Springfield, Massachusetts. Yes, sir.
My name is Usman Malik. I live in West Springfield, 555 Gardens Alley.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So let me just read this review from staff. Petitioner submitted an application for certificate of appropriateness for the purpose of obtaining approval for the unauthorized replacement of the right second floor window as viewed from Maple Street, which is a white vinyl window. The replacement window is a used unspecified window and is unsure as to the make and model. In addition, other second floor windows were replaced sometime in the last year with white vinyl windows without authorization from the commission, flagged by the building department. However, the petition is contending that those windows were installed prior to the purchasing of the building. Okay, so why don't you take a minute or two and tell us about what's been done?
Or apology if there's a communication issue and anything, so my father feels this.
Okay, we understand.
These properties were pretty beat up on properties for the, because of the price we can afford it, we bought it. Not, really not, it was not in communication of we need a historical access for this commission and all that. And thank you so much, I think, and we start helping them and we got the first letter from the building departments. Problem is, so a lot of windows were being changed from the first floor, second floor, some of them 20 years, 40 years ago. But they have over there, they have a, what you say, like a big windstroke, black, so look, showing the inside the window was changed long time ago. But the somebody steal it, a lot of stuff from inside, like a copper and everything.
Yeah, they stripped it.
So I have all these other pictures that will mean.
They had like the metal protect,
Some of them were metal, but the top were not metal. Some of them were metal, some of them are these. So unfortunately, a lot of homeless people,
Yeah.
if you see the next door with, this is pillows, we don't get a lot of people live here.
369.
And we get like every other day, for the trash and other things. We
Sure.
We get a lot of tickets for that. Across it is the same problem. So a lot of homeless people, we don't know when you start getting, they still live, you know. So every other day.
Yeah, you gotta secure the property.
So soon they close the building, actually my uncle giving a rent his wife. And they the kids. So we bought from everything family, we have a family here, so everybody helped him, so we bought on the, property very cheap, He's also on auction for $80,000, so he's living over there. So we didn't, first of all, we didn't know his historical, something like that. So when we go over there, so some window was there, changed before 20, 30, 40 years old, even if you see inside. I told him, come inside, see, So only window was there, we changed it in that one. And that one also we bought our used one over there. So we did not do anything too much, and I'm never 26 years in Springfield as small businessman, but I don't know that, sir. Stuff like that, so.
So Andrew, which is the window that we're talking?
Was it the front window?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did the
One
right.
of those side windows.
Yeah, so let me give it an overview.
We didn't check
What
all
happened.
of the see. They are like, if you see the close here, I have took the picture of these side windows. They are being checked, I know, 15 years,
Yeah.
but they're all minors.
Am I reading white window?
Yeah, so hold on here. So the building department first flagged this issue, came across my desk. I met with, he's doing it out on the site. Basically, you had a wooden window or you had a vacant windows that was boarded up here.
Yep.
And then you have this window at issue. And then a couple of these on the side, and I'll show you exactly.
Three on the first floor.
Nope, the upper,
Oh,
the second
top,
floor here.
okay.
So,
Somebody take the storm window outside, so now they're looking new, because there was a storm window before. So somebody steal it for for metal reason, actually I found two of them. And over there broken pieces, some of. We still have a couple of strong windows, but I think they need to put the glass too.
yeah, you can see the white vinyl here.
But the thing is that, I never see any historical window, any good window over there. Even 20, 30 years ago, was general window, but it's old. Very.
I know what you mean.
Here are the other two windows, really right here. And so from what I can tell, when looking at Google Street View, it looks like these are black windows. Especially,
No, black one, you can see that clearly, it's strong, all strong. Even it's strong, like, you mean like a. Never black window. Never black.
Well, I'm looking at those windows on the second floor on the outside, they're dark, they're either brown or black. That one's
No,
brown or black.
no, it's strong, it's only outside piece is strong. So there are the black pictures.
It's where, but
Sorry, yes.
what our thing is what does it look like from the street? Like, you could even have a white window on the inside, but if you have storm windows on the outside that make it look dark,
Mhm.
and it looks dark from the outside. That's all that matters.
I talked to him already, I told him if you
Yeah.
want, we can find the same window,
Yeah.
storm window, black one, put there. But he said you need the permission from you guys.
Right, well, yeah, no,
Yes, sir.
present.
So, yeah, so it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of our,
Yeah.
whatever guys you think is reasonable.
even though this one, this one looks like it was a dark window and not white.
Can you zoom in on that?
Well, he's
That's
saying
fine.
he's okay with a dark window.
Yeah.
Replace it with, so that's
Doesn't
good.
matter if you guys tell them, we
Yeah.
can do it happily, man, because they got it, you know, it's like.
Yeah.
Problem is this property is closed, there's a lot of, every day closed, somebody come knock the door.
Yeah.
Broke the door, take the window out, take the plumbing
Well,
out.
like any vacant property, it gets used to what it gets used to.
Every day,
It'll change now that you own it and you guys are
Yeah,
there.
people, I can show you.
They won't,
I
they
can show
won't be
you
in the
the
house.
code enforcement, how many times they send a notice.
Okay, so hold on.
That's what This side.
When you zoom into the window that the building department spoke about on the side.
Yeah, so it's these two windows here.
Right, but is there a photo? Is this a recent photo?
This is my staff photo taken on March 2nd.
So is that a window sticker that I'm looking at? A new window sticker?
In the window?
Yeah.
I think this is a shadow from the other side,
Yeah, I think it might be a glare.
shadow from the up and.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Looks
Yeah.
like a shadow, top and bottom.
Okay. Good. So are those the windows that were replaced?
Yes.
The
Those
At
two,
some point, these windows were replaced, flagged by the building department, and I can go print out, I have that.
We just bought it like 2 months back.
Well, he's saying, but it was flagged, it could have been flagged before you guys.
I'm trying to get some clarity here. Are these the ones that are being considered for appropriateness, or is this something else?
So this is where the only window that I'm certain about is that top right window from Maple. That's the
That had
only
no
one.
connect-
The
had
only
no-
reason why I'm certain about it is because it was plywood.
Yeah.
These other four appear to have been changed, and they were flagged by the building department as being changed. It's just on the timeline, I don't know if it was before they purchased it or after they purchased it. They said it was before they purchased it, but I have no way of verifying that.
But am I hearing that the property owner is willing to change them to dark windows?
Yes, if there is, like, if you, for me, I believe all of these windows are white. Even the first floor, they're all changed to some part. There is no wood window there.
Mr. Chair,
Maybe we do a site visit.
One minute, yeah.
It is-
Go ahead, Vincent.
yes, thank you. I looked this up on a multiple listing service and looked at the pictures that there were 4 exterior pictures there. It was listed in December of 25. They made their offer within like 6 days, or an accepted offer within 6 days. And I believe those pictures show that they were dark windows. So my question is when did they get changed? Between when it was listed or, oh, there they are. Yeah, I don't know if that'll be a decent view, but, so I believe these windows were black when this property was listed. Let's at least give you the date. Maybe I was off by a month, but I believe it was, that it was December. Or it closed December or something, second, maybe like that, so 4 months ago. And I believe that these changes were made after they owned it, because I'm pretty sure they didn't change anything before they owned it.
Because.
Yeah, the sale date 12/2/25, that was close, yeah.
For some reason, the pictures didn't.
Populate.
I can go print that out real fast, but yeah, and so I'm just having trouble establishing when the windows were changed on time.
I agree with Commissioner Walter Kroll on a site visit. That way we'll have a baseline. We'll know exactly what's what right now. And we can refer back to those pictures that are in the multiple listing service before any vote happens.
We'll come see your house.
Sure.
You okay with that? No,
You can.
we'll stand at the curb and look, how's that?
No.
Okay, well, this is a public
So
hearing.
if
and
is
before we-
the solution, what will be the end solution? To change all the windows, the first.
Well, we'd like to come and see what's there.
There may be a different solution.
Maybe maybe it's just the one window and everything else is fine.
Right.
But we were trying to just determine what's there.
It would not be fair to be.
No, that's not, as long as, please, someone request, I don't know how long gonna take because we were ready to start work, so I don't know how long it's gonna be the.
Well, the next, so we would,
April 16th is the next meeting.
so we would, between now and April 16th, we
That's
would
not a big.
arrange a time for a couple of us to come see the house. It would be continued to April 16th.
And it might be good to set a time now, just.
All right.
Well, let's make the motion and then we'll.
But before we can make the motion, continue, people.
Yeah.
So is there anyone here in the public who would like to speak? Either way regarding this proposal, 167 Maple Street? No, okay, we'll bring it back to the commission. I'm open to the motion to continue to the next meeting with a site visit.
So moved.
Prior.
Second.
Who was the motion?
Moi,
No.
the shorter roll,
And
I second it.
all of
The
the.
nice looking roll,
Okay.
pretty cool.
Do I hear any further discussion before I call the vote?
No.
Okay, let's start. Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
Kevin Conley. Yes. Al Norton, yes, Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Judy Crowe.
Yes.
And Marissa Zerzi.
Yes.
Okay, so the couple of people will come to look at it, and then we'll be back on the sixth of April.
You wanna pick a day on?
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, earlier in the morning works better for you. So, and I know Commissioner Walsh, when are you arriving back in Springfield?
Sunday or Sunday afternoon or Monday afternoon.
So next week might be if Commissioner Walsh wants to.
Yeah.
Okay, so what works for the commission? How about Tuesday next week? Does that work?
I have a couple things going on. I'll have to get back to you on that. So, I mean, we got to try to get a couple other commissioners just in case I get slowed down.
That's fine. Yeah, Wednesday the 8th.
And just, make the appointment. If I can make it, I'll make it. If I can't, I'll let you know ahead of time.
We just have to be careful in not establishing a quorum.
So I'm available on the 8th.
And she said,
I would be available on the 17th more.
Do you, yeah, do you want to do both dates? Are you
It's okay if not, just saying I'm available.
Okay, we can do the 7th, that's fine.
7? Okay.
Either one,
7.
either one.
Okay. So Walter and Marissa and anyone. Is
If I
there,
can make it, I can make it.
Well, you can't have more than 3, so it sounds like we have 3 already.
Oh, well, it's if I can make it, so we can be backups. We can text each other to see who's gonna make it.
Okay, as long as somebody does.
well, at least have Walter and Marissa.
Yes.
Okay, all right, then make the appointment and we'll move forward.
Tuesday, it's
Tuesday.
what time?
What time works best for you? I think we met at 9. Is that too late for you guys?
Yeah.
Walter, that's
9 AM.
That's fine.
okay. Tuesday.
Too late, yeah, can we do 5 AM?
I do not.
I need it.
Bring coffee, it's
So, yeah,
okay,
we actually,
right?
people are working, probably, yes.
Tuesday, April 8th at 9 AM.
That's 167
Yeah. I will send the calendar invite to Marissa and
Yeah.
And you're Malik, and you're Mr.
Right.
Okay.
and I'll put optional down for Judy
Aside.
and
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
we have a few other matters.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
For us.
I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you an email.
Thank
Okay.
Administrative update.
Yes, so I did issue a couple non-applicabilities. 195 Sumner Ave, I did a second floor patio door. 35 Mattoon Street was a rear exhaust vent. And 14 Greenleaf Street asphalt roof to asphalt roof. Yeah, there was another one in there. It was something odd on that one. 2 letters of support, Brightwood School and the Clock Tower blocks dying for mass historic credits. We have EDPC working on a nomination for the Vietnam Memorial in Mason Square. Okay, I'll issue a letter of support on behalf of the Historical Commission. Is that good? Okay, I will.
It's just conceptual, there's no.
At this point.
It's the memorial to be on the National Register of Historic.
Oh, perfect.
So
Yeah.
I'll issue a
Great.
letter of support, sorry, I should have. And then, new construction guidelines. I have something in place, I just need to tighten them up. I hope to have them very soon. Kevin has been helping me with some of the language, which has been helpful. And so basically, I'm just gonna give it to you guys and you should just mark it up. And I sent it to you. I'm also gonna send it to the trust, that they've been asking for it as well. So hopefully soon I'll have that. And then that's it. I have this other thing, ethics training you've heard. I think technically You guys should be doing ethics training, there's a state requirement. I think you've done it, right? It's basically watching like a 2-hour presentation.
Previously.
Yeah.
Doing that.
You're supposed to do it every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah, so, I wanted to make sure you guys have done it. Now that I know, I will send out that link.
Okay.
Yes, so at some point, if you could just make sure you do that.
Live current event.
Yeah, yeah.
I already did.
Oh, you did it.
Well, no, just hearing about it, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good.
Yeah, no, I.
I think once you,
Yeah, it's online, yeah. So it's just it's like a 2-hour presentation and you answer questions.
that's right. But I think once you do it once, it's like abbreviated after that.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's not
So
2 hours long.
you're in the link.
You're in the link,
Like, put your name
and then
in.
every
Yeah.
2 years, they'll send you the update
Oh, okay,
when you need to go.
great.
Acknowledgement.
Great, yeah, so I will make sure I get that out to you guys.
Please.
And I just want to go over next meetings real fast. Latoya Smith is going to be covering for me. She works in our department. At a later time, I can explain, there's probably gonna be some sort of transition. So where eventually she's gonna be taking on historic. But she's really good. I think you guys will like working with her, but she's gonna cover for me because we're doing a ULI TAP presentation for Court Square. So we're basically bringing in professionals.
And who?
The department is bringing in ULI, urban landscape. Oh, Latoya Smith, she works in,
What's her name?
Latoya Smith, she works in Echo Dale. So,
That'd be economic development.
oh, yes.
For us people that aren't in the city, you know who it is, but. We've been through this.
So you're leaving?
I'm not leaving, but I'm still, so I can explain, but. Yeah, so we have the Urban Land Institute coming in to do Court Square, and so I need to be at that the entire day. And so I just want to go over the agenda for next week. We will have 21 Mountain View back on the agenda. I had a long conversation with Vinny today. I think it was a combination of a bunch of things. I think we didn't communicate well in terms of the city. I don't think we got the certificate out. They shouldn't have gone ahead and built what they did. I do have pictures from 2006 that show that they were vinyl windows. So I don't know if that will affect the ruling here, but I just want to bring that to your attention. If anyone has a request for me on that property, let me know. I'll do the research and I'll write something up. We have another application, 238 Sumner Ave. We recently just heard an application with them regarding windows. And if you recall, they had that picture window in the staircase, and we asked them to save it, and they were shortening up one of the windows on the side. They shortened up 3 windows on the side. So they have explained that that was the only place the kitchen could go, and they kind of went ahead and did it.
After being here.
After they said, we told them not to do that.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
I've had some exchanges with him via email. I told him the historic commission isn't here to make the outside adapt to the inside, so he should be aware of that. I'll have something written up, but those are going to be the 2 big items.
He coming back.
Yeah, I told him if he doesn't come back, I will issue a violation and get this going with legals.
Well, I guess that's the question. Are you just letting us know what happened and there's gonna be a
No,
violation, or is he coming back?
He's here next meeting,
Okay.
so I told him if he didn't send an application, I'd submit it over. And I do have the building department on him as well.
Yes.
So, that was a little frustrating. And then we have an environmental review with Old First Church. They are doing a lot of exterior restorations, so.
Excellent.
And then there's like 2 window applications, so.
Andrew,
Yeah,
may I suggest respectfully that we not give them the copy of hold on one sec. who's coming in. Just hold on. Not give the preservation, the copy of those. We need to see them first. We need to mark them up, but I don't want the impression that they're writing this thing.
Yeah, okay, I can wait until the commission has a better, or sees them first, so.
Well, yeah, that was kind of my comment is, if it's for board members, so you got comfortable with the material, great, but. They're no different than
Yeah,
any other group or private citizen, right?
yeah, that's fine. I am happy to hold it and keep it just for the commission until you guys have a chance to go through it, so. Great. And then, so that's all that I have. If anyone has any questions between now and the next meeting, just let me know. I will be back on May 7th. So,
You need a quorum call.
yes.
Okay, available for the 16th, Commissioner Walsh.
I will expect to be sitting by your side.
By my son.
Yes. Unless Walter won't get out of the chair, you know.
Kevin, yes, we're here only because Vincent Watson is gonna be by my side. Walter Crowe.
Yes, I'll be sitting over there, I'll be over there.
Judith Crowe, the 16th,
Tentative.
and Martha Zerlin. Yay, even that.
Can I just thank Andrew for all his work?
Not done yet.
Well, I don't want you to go anywhere yet, I'm just calling you tonight.
Yeah.
I already tried to bribe him to stay earlier today.
Yeah, if you guys wrote the summary on the Pine Street thing, I thought it was in depth, and if you hadn't been familiar with it, it kind of gave you
100%.
everything was there, and I already knew it, but I thought it was well written.
Thanks, yeah, that was a large,
Very
that
helpful.
was a hard.
Yes,
research.
yeah.
That was fun.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
Anything else?
Looking for the motion, public speak out.
Anything for public speak out? Anyone?
Thank you for all your work.
So
Thank you.
So now the motion, which.
So move.
second.
We have a vote to
Everybody's
adjourn.
racing again.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
Vincent.